Add it up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a special episode of PizzaTalks. I'm your host, Tina, and today we will be interviewing 6 speakers that will be featured in this year's Mind, Body, Spirit Fest, which is organized by the ACG Health and Wellness Center and will take place on October 5 through 9, and it will include several very interesting and very fun activities, so we're looking forward to that. We have our first speaker with us now, Christina Drakonakis. Ms. Drakonakis, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. So I'm the Associate Dean of Students at Dury, also head of the ACG Health and Wellness Center.
Thank you. We will be asking you 2 questions about the event, a bit general. The first one is, what do you hope students will get out of this experience in general, as an event in general?
Okay. Well, the topic this year is resilience. So it's all about learning how to be resilient, cultivating those skills, that attitude of resilience. Resilience would be, for example, learning how to adapt after a tragedy or a trauma, and then thriving with those new skills and the new situation that you find yourself in.
Definitely. I completely agree with that, especially now after the lockdown, things have been a bit difficult to readjust.
Definitely. We've been placed in all different kinds of situations. Okay.
Of course. And the second question we have for you is, what message do you hope to deliver through this year's Mind, Body, Spirit Fest?
Okay, well, as I mentioned before, it's the message on how to be resilient, how to cultivate that attitude. And also, I guess, to recognize that when we're challenged, it's a time for personal growth, actually.
For sure.
Only then, I think, do we realize our full potential. For example, if you take a seedling that grows, if it grows up without any kind of challenges, any kind of breezes next to it, it's going to be wobbly. It's going to be, it won't have the strength. And in the first wind that comes by, it's going to be knocked over. But if gentle breezes all the time that it's growing, it has a chance to experience that and it develops that. Then when a big wind comes to blow it, it won't break. It may bend, but it won't break. And so we're hoping, the analogy there is that we hope with the speakers that we have, our students, our faculty staff will have a chance to be inspired by personal experiences that our speakers have had. Also through specific workshops, they'll have a chance to develop those tools. And I wanted to just introduce one of the workshops.
Yes.
It's a Kintsugi workshop. And that is a 400-year-old Japanese art that we will actually have students, faculty, staff, carry out. We will have, for example, if you can see here, the bowl that I brought in. This was a beautiful vase that I loved, and my son broke it. But when he broke it this past year, I came home and I said, thank you. Thank you so much, because now I have the chance to try and put it back together again and make it even more beautiful. So Kintsugi takes the flaws, the cracks in something that you might have broken and fills them with gold. Okay, this is not real gold. This is gold paint. And this is what we're going to be doing at the workshop. We're going to have pottery for you. And while we are doing this whole process of putting something back together and recognizing that something, even with its flaws, can be beautiful, we're going to have a psychologist that's going to be presenting as well stories of despair and hope to go along with this. So we're going to have a philosophy, we're going to have inspiration, and you're going to have the chance to be a little artistic and put some things together.
It sounds amazing. It's a very beautiful metaphor of the broken objects that are just fixed together, like we can be fixed. We can pick up our broken pieces and fix ourselves after having been broken.
That's right. It's a philosophy on healing.
For sure, definitely. Thank you very much, Ms. Drakonakis. We are looking forward to seeing you in the event.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
We have our second speaker with us now. Lucy
Hello.
Konstantinides. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
I feel you. Crazy time, crazy schedules, but We're still managing. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. I'm a yoga teacher here at DRE, and I teach dance at Peers.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a choreographer.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes. Yoga in my life came very young, when I was very young. So it really helped me through my life in a lot of corners and situations and all that. And that's me. Being happy all the time. We need to be happy. With all these situations happening. And of course, I'm very happy that one more year we have this mind and body spirit.
Of course.
So every year it's better.
Definitely.
So I'm glad that we're doing it again.
Yes.
So, yes, and I'm part of it as well.
Okay. Well, speaking of the mind, body, spirit, what do you hope the students will get out of this experience as a whole?
Of course, they can come for free.
Of course.
that's the biggest
a given.
So having to do all these classes and, of course, yoga, we'll get a lot of things out of it. They will learn how we work with all the classes that we're giving. With yoga, they can get mind and spirit out of it. And of course, they will learn how to move their bodies and how to breathe. And of course, he needs to do a lot of classes, but this is just an introduction to see how they can move and find out body and mind.
Of course, definitely. We're looking forward to that. Specifically to you, what message do you hope to deliver through this year's Mind, Body, Spirit Fest?
For people to acknowledge how they breathe, because without oxygen, we cannot survive.
Definitely.
Of course, with all these situations as well happening, with not having oxygen, I will teach them to control their mind, their body, and how to love and respect everything and anything around them.
That's amazing, especially breathing. It's such a fundamental and natural part of our lives. We don't even notice that we do it. So it's important to be able to control it and our body and mind.
When we are in a womb with our moms, we don't have the oxygen. We're in the water. But as soon as we get out in this life, the first thing that we do is breathe.
Of course.
Yes. So this is what I'm going to teach them, how to learn in one lesson, at least to get the oxygen deep inside of them.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much for your
Welcome.
time. We'll be looking forward to seeing you in the event.
Yes. And see everyone.
Of course, everyone.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. All right, so now we have with us Dr. Tobias Meyers and Ms. Sophie Themelis. Hello, welcome to PizzaTalks.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourselves?
So my name is Tobias Meyers. I just joined the DRE faculty this year. I'm coming from Connecticut College, where I taught for 8 years in the classics department. I teach ancient Greek and Latin languages, literatures, philosophy. And I'm particularly happy to be participating in this event because I'm also a longtime practitioner of yoga and meditation.
Oh, wow, that's
and
amazing.
a believer in mindfulness.
For sure. Definitely, yes. That's great. What about you?
And I'm Sophie Themelis. I am the wellness coordinator at the ACG Housing Wellness Center. I also teach Pilates. I'm a wellness coach. And this baby, the Mind, Body, Spirit Fest, is my sort of baby. It's been happening for the last 8 or 9 years. It's annual.
Wow.
And every year it's growing more and more. It always has wonderful events. And we usually have a beautiful closing, which usually ends at the Acropolis. And we're lucky enough that Dr. Meyers accepted to be with us. So it's going to add to it.
Yes.
That's about it.
That's amazing. We're looking forward to that. So we have 2 questions for you. First of all, what do you hope that students will get out of this experience as a whole? What will they come back home with?
Yeah. Well, thinking about that question, I think about my experience as I'm
Yes.
envisioning it too. I mean, I just can't wait to rise early in the morning, join a community of people who are gathered to participate in a sunrise meditation, and at the Acropolis, which is a site of such rich and varied history, of such exquisite beauty. I've seen people cry when they see it for the first time, and I hope that we will all come away rejuvenated and excited to start yet another day in our lives, another season, another year.
That's amazing.
It's brilliant. I don't know how much I can add to that because you sort of said a lot, even though
very
you haven't
complete.
been.
Yes.
The event actually takes place 5:30 in the morning.
Yes,
We
it
meet
does.
at the metro station Acropolis, 5:30. So you can
Wow.
imagine it's still dark,
Yeah.
totally black. Everybody gathers. We catch the first train and we walk towards the Vrachakia. It's an area which is so close to the Acropolis. So I'm surprised that you could have all these feelings even though you haven't been with us in the morning.
Well, I've done the sunrise meditations
Yes,
before,
yes.
so yes.
So we walk to the Vrachakia and we clean the area a little bit. This is all part of the spirituality. Nobody speaks while they're cleaning.
Oh, wow.
And each one finds his or her place. And then as the sun begins to rise behind the Acropolis, you actually can hear church bells going bang, bang, bang all around.
Oh, wow.
It's a most beautiful moment. We will do lots of beautiful exercises, waking up, salutation to the sun, meditation, as you mentioned. It's really very, very beautiful. And we will be so connected in that moment, on that rock, on those stones, that we will honestly connect to the earth and to each other. We usually end up with a nice cup of tea, exotic cup of tea.
Tea is always nice.
Yes, and we always have a nice reflection at the end. But today's session, I mean, on the 9th of October, it's going to be even much luckier because we're not just going to reflect. An expert will be talking to us about these solid rocks, these everlasting rocks, about the Acropolis. So we will be very enriched spiritually, knowledge-wise, and body-wise.
Sounds wonderful. Can't wait to experience that.
I hope you come. I hope you join us.
We definitely will. We definitely will. Second question and last question. What message do you wish to deliver through this year's Mind, Body, Spirit Fest as a speaker, as a person who's there to
Yes.
provide?
I guess I have to start with this one. Every year, every fest, it has a different theme, a different topic. This year, we thought of resilience because it's such an important topic, such an important characteristic that we can
Of
have.
course.
Resilience of your mind, of your body, of your spirit. Life has been hard, many challenges, COVID, quarantines, all these things. These are challenges. And the only way to carry on is with resilience. So I would hope that by the end of this session that people will feel really resilient, as solid as the Acropolis even.
That's amazing. I love this metaphor.
Nicely said. I mean, I would just add to that I think that there's something about being in the presence of such a deep and extended history, and thinking about it and learning about it a little bit, that just awareness of such great gulfs of time can give us all perspective so that whatever we're dealing with as individuals, as communities, we can contextualize that in some sort of a larger
Of course.
picture. Things that might be troubling us may trouble us less when we have that greater perspective.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much for
I hope
your
you will
time.
come with us.
I definitely will. I know that. At the Acropolis, I cannot miss that. I am the biggest fan of sunrises and sunsets, so
Perfect.
definitely coming. Thank you very much for your
Thanks.
time and your
Thank you.
input, and we will see you there.
Thank you for having us.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
So, Miss Themelis, I am sure since this huge event, Mind, Body, Spirit Fest, is your baby, I am sure that there are a few events or activities that you would like to elaborate on, that you would like to talk about.
Of course, there are two things. First, the quiz, which is so easy. which means somebody, as you're walking on the corridor, you just scan the little thingy and you can test yourself. Two tests, which is beautiful to see how resilient you are. The second one is probably what you want me to elaborate on. It's how to test your resilience because remember, if you exercise, you work out and you move your body, you breathe, you get ventilation and all these things, you do become stronger. How many times it's been a very hard day for you and then after you run a marathon or run 10K, eventually you forget about your troubles and you feel fine. You could be like running with tears and eventually you stop and you're like, why was I crying? Because moving the body really makes you resilient. And in this particular session, we're going to be talking about the plank. If you've done a plank, you know how tough it is. The teaser.
Time stops when we do a plank.
Are you kidding? The teaser, there'll be two types of planks, side planks as well. And there will be a shout. We're going to gather in a circle and shout.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we're going to end up with silence. You may be wondering why we're going to do all these things. Improve your breathing. Strengthen your core, your center. If your center is strong, you can do anything you want on this earth. Improve your balance. This will help you make decisions. It will improve your memory and your thinking. And you know, when you're under a lot of trouble, you cannot think straight. You cannot focus. So this will actually help you. And of course, at the end, with the silence, you'll experience peace. Okay? I really want people to join this because I think it's one of the best events ever.
That's amazing. I already want to join right now. And this is why we can't wait. We are very excited for this. And thank you very much again for your time, for your explanations. We will see you soon.
I hope so. Thank you.
So now we have with us Fraimy, Athanasopoulou. Hello, Fraimy. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. You?
I'm very good, thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself in general?
Okay, my name is Fraimy. I'm a junior student here at DIRI and I study communication with a minor in HR. I also work at DIRI at the Financial Assistance Office and at PizzaTalks. And what else can I say? I also have a dog named Lucifer.
I love dogs. This is so cute. I already like you. Okay, so we basically have two questions for you. What do you hope students will get out of this experience, the Mind Body Spirit Fest in general?
Okay, so this year the Mind Body Spirit Fest is about resilience, which is our ability to recover from difficulties relatively quickly. Okay, so hopefully this 5 days event will help our students, student community learn about resilience and develop their very own set of coping mechanisms.
For sure, definitely. I completely agree. Second and last question. What message do you wish to deliver through this year's Mind Body Spirit? So you as in a speaker of the Mind Body Spirit Fest.
I will present a tracking system I developed for myself to track my day actually and organize my thoughts and show how this method helps me to cope with day-to-day difficulties that may arise and also highlight the difference between constructive and destructive coping mechanisms.
Wow, this is amazing. I cannot wait for your speech.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, Fraimy, and see you at the event.
Okay, see you.
All right, so now I have with me Hasan Oksuz. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for
How
having
are
me here.
you?
Fine. Reading, studying and working, both of them. Challenging a little bit, but this is the life.
I understand.
Yeah.
So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, shortly or okay.
Shortly.
Okay, I'd say I'm originally from Turkey. I
Oh.
came to Greece in 2015. Due to political situations in Turkey, I had to come here. At the beginning, I was working in a small, tailor. So after having opportunity in 2018 to enter the college, I studied sociology.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I graduated in 2021, April, from sociology. And at the meantime, I started to work at the ACG Housing full-time. And now I'm also doing my master's degree on strategic communication and public relations.
Wow,
If you have any question to
very
detail,
interesting.
thank you so much.
So we have two questions for you regarding
Yes.
the Mind Body Spirit Fest. The first one is, what do you hope that student will get out of this experience as a whole?
Yeah, Mind Body Spirit, this festival very important for me. At the first year I started, I joined as well. Sophie invited me. That time, with the theme was I make my choices, so important. Now, resilience. Very meaningful. The festival itself, based on sharing your experience. As we know, when we share our happiness, when we share our pain, when we share our dream, we feel much stronger. For
Definitely.
me, in pain, in love, in happiness. So, what I am expecting from this festival after the giving out of my presentation, really making connection, sharing my experience. Each of us has this potential to be resilient, to resist, to be creative, to be more hopeful, to challenge ourselves, to change.
Definitely.
So I expect this, my experience, at least to cause some questions, some change in the mind of the participants.
For sure.
Yeah.
So second question, which you've partly answered, what message do you wish to deliver through this year's Mind Body Spirit Fest?
Yes, maybe very cliche, but life only one time has given to us.
Yes.
Whether a gift or a chance or whatever you would like to name it. But how do you live your life? How do you perceive yourself? How to define yourself, redefine yourself when you're faced with challenges? From the childhood and throughout our adulthood, it's a little bit knowing ourselves, knowing the life, and continuously interacting with our environment, with the friends, with the people we live in, the community. So do not give up, no matter what. It doesn't matter, how hard the life, how hard the challenges, difficulties. But no matter what, do not lose your own orientation in life.
Definitely.
Learning from mistake, yes, but learning from your success. Do not underestimate yourself. Do not undermine yourself. Be always positive, always optimist. It's not about playing like Pollyanna, seeing the life in pink. No. Sometimes we need to be Pollyanna, to look at the life in positive way. Why? When our mind is free, when our mind is a real optimist, we can see the options, opportunities, and the changes. So I hope this festival, this year theme, very important. Thank you so much thanks to Sophie, Themelis, choosing this topic.
Yes.
We will discover our inside the resilient roots. I will have to share with the people who will join there.
That's amazing. That's such a motivational message.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you for having
Hasan.
me here.
Thank you for being in our podcast and thank you for your time. We are very excited to seeing you in the event.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it.